Il n'y a qu'une place.
Bonjour à tous. Vu que vous n'avez pas de micro pour poser des questions, si vous pouvez vous relever la main, s'il vous plaît, comme ça on met la parole et vous de se couper. On va commencer par une question en français et on aura des questions en anglais. Some questions in English at the end.
Bonjour monsieur, Antoine, en quoi on peut dire qu'il y a une vraie rivalité entre les deux équipes, une histoire?
Rivalry between the two teams? Well, given that the last 3 editions of the tournament, it's us and the Irish who won them, there is already that which is part of it, and we had a story also in Champions Cup where it was sometimes happy for us, sometimes for them, whether it was Toulouse or La Rochelle. So it's been a few seasons since we played for European titles with them, so we're starting to know each other very well now. And it also explains that Irish rugby as French is in a good position in recent years.
Good evening, Mr. Antoine. Can you tell us about the atmosphere, the freedom they do not know?
Well, the Irish public is a very knowledgeable public, which is where they have a lot of supporters. I think if the stadium was twice the capacity, they would fill it. That's what we love, whether it's in the stadium or in the city. You feel this euphoria when there are matches of the Ireland team, and obviously they push a lot to support their team and they fulfill their role fully. Every time we play here, we feel that it is a difficult ground for us. But these are atmospheres that are still incredible to live in.
Antoine, how was it? Did you feel a different vibe within the France team this week with this match upcoming at each turn?
Whenever there are games that are, we can almost talk about final phase important games. There is always a particular excitement, a state of mind that changes a little bit, a lot of excitement, a lot of impatience too. The week is always longer when you're waiting for a big match like this, and I think everyone has set themselves up for the event. We know we have to be at our best and make as few mistakes as possible if we want to win tomorrow.
Is that it?
Can you provide us further details about his sensations today during training, as well as the proximity of Antoine to you? It would be beneficial to have an overview of the week's activities.
Full of concern, he battles intensely for the entirety of the 80-minute match without any issues. He has previously secured numerous trophies, so I am hopeful and confident.
It primarily seemed like a preventative measure to avoid injury. On Wednesday, he continued his treatment with ample time. Today, he appeared to be in high spirits, so I have no concerns about him.
Please describe to us the technical aspects of Ireland's approach, which is quite impressive. I will go into detail.
In our current efforts to build, we have been focusing intently. At this moment, our defense ranks as the best in the tournament, but I am certain we can improve further. Could you elaborate on how they have made a slight advancement?
From France.
December 2nd, 3.
Three? I'm not going to say three because we did the Grand Slam 3 years ago, but it's true that this match in 2023, here we are in the match, we made some strategic mistakes that cost us dearly and that gave them the tournament at that time. And then last year we know it was a complicated tournament for us, but I think it was more than 2 to 3 years ago. It's been 4 or 5 years that the Ireland team has been very successful. It loses very few matches with a very polished game, very rigorous systems that we know, whether in attack, in defense, they have very clear processes. But that allows them to win games against any team. They have won against every team in the world. It proves that they are doing a very good job and we are working hard. It also pushes us to be at our best, to be able to compete with this kind of team.
How was the visit of Thierry Henry to the camp this week? Did he talk about the handball?
There is no link between his visit and the game. But yes, we most of the intervention we talk about performance, high level. How can you deal with the pressure away, especially and during the important game? I think he has a long experience, and I hope he has inspired us for this weekend. But we didn't talk a lot about the hand.
You're happy to have Romain back at 10 after a few games away?
Yeah, sure. Romain and me, we know each other very well for a long time now. I think it's important for the team as well. He knows the system very well. He's a warrior as well as Gregory, and I think his defense will be very important tomorrow. And I'm sure he will be at his best tomorrow.
Est-ce que tu peux nous parler de ton vis-à-vis? L'exemple, on dit qu'il est aussi influent que toi dans le jeu irlandais.
We really feel that he has an impact on this team and he manages to be decisive in almost every game. Since he is a key position at the hinge, we know that it is always positions that are important. So it will be up to us to be vigilant and monitor him. Comme il est un poste clé à la charnière, on sait que c'est toujours des postes qui sont importants, donc ça sera à nous d'être vigilants et de le surveiller.
But
I thought,
then in your mandate to Australia, after 2 of the executives against them, that would allow you to...
Playing it, of course it is. It's a match that is super important for our progression from there in this new cycle between the last World Cup and the next. But despite everything, the result will not define what will happen in the coming seasons. But of course, it is already an important match for this tournament, for the result of the current tournament, and it's always important to play big matches against big teams. Ireland is one of the best teams in the world. And we are here to measure ourselves against and be at the level. So, of course it is. It's a very important game for us, but also for them, I think.
Antoine Fabien was talking about arbitration yesterday. Antoine thinks you called Des.
Well, it will be up to us to be masters of our game, not to make mistakes, not to offer opportunities. Let the Irish come into our camp with penalties. After we know that when they approach the lines, they are hard to stop, and after we see all the matches they play over the weekend on their defense, they almost continuously manage to slow down the Rock opponents with players who are often at the limit. But it's I think work and very well done. We see that they know the rule very well and that they are at the limit of doing themselves. Penalized, they are not. Well, they are not always at fault. They are very good in there, so it will be up to us to do our maximum to have fast balls. And if they are at fault, we hope, as Fabien said, for fair refereeing, but we are not worried.
Shaun, on a similar theme to what Antoine's just been asked, Fabien this week we spoke about the refereeing and the importance of Angus Gardner on tomorrow afternoon. Can you expand a little bit on sort of the different interpretations, Southern Hemisphere and Northern Hemisphere?
The referee's always important in a game, isn't it? And but we've ultimate confidence in him to do a good job tomorrow. We've had a brief chat with him, over the internet regarding certain aspects of the game, and he agreed with most things that we said, and we're expecting him to be fair to Ireland, but also to be fair to us as well tomorrow.
Shaun, where does Ireland in Dublin rank as sort of the hardest places to play and win?
It's the ultimate challenge in the Northern Hemisphere to come to Dublin and win, without a shadow of a doubt. You know, the last 2 years they've been absolutely marvellous, haven't they? And great to watch as well. And yeah, we've all been preparing hard. I've been listening to Thin Lizzy all week, and you too, watching Steve Collins fights from the 90s, so I feel ready.
Je disais sur mon trajet et par rapport à la petite pression que nous avons fait dans quelquefois, quel rôle à toi dans ton lien avec par rapport à cette
I think the judges know my game. I don't play to have penalties, or I just want to have fast balls so that my team is in the best conditions. So if I feel that there are players who are at the limit, I'll go tell him, but in any case we don't want to play on it. We are going to focus on ourselves, on doing what we can control, being the best possible in our attitudes to have good balls, and depending on the scenario, I will have time to be able to exchange with him, but we're going to focus on our game and what we can do. Thank you.